Greetings, class. Welcome to the last statistic of the semester, and as such, your last week of new content and your last YouTube video clips. So this is the first one of our new material for the week of December 5, 2016. There's a series of handouts on there or in the content folder for this week. This is the first one. As you can see, it's hand drawn and it's titled "The Major Points Regarding Chi-Square Analysis." And these are essentially, you could consider this to be an outline that will drive the remainder of the content, the YouTube content and subject matter for this week's procedure, chi-square analysis. Chi-square analysis. We're going to begin by introducing you to the types of hypotheses that chi-square analysis would be needed to test. It's a somewhat different procedure involving different types of variables than you've been dealing with for the last several weeks. The variables themselves and how they're measured are not new, but we have sort of put aside nominal and ordinal level variables for a while, and we've been dealing largely with interval level data because you've been doing tests of means, like t-test for one sample, t-test for two samples, one-way analysis of variance. Chi-square analysis has to do with categorical data. We'll get back to that in a little bit. Next, I'll introduce you briefly to the statistic itself, what the statistic measures. After that, I'm going to introduce you to the chi-square probability distribution, both the drawing and the table that exists in SPATS, so we'll get to that next. In order to appropriately understand the chi-square probability distribution, I need to introduce a couple of subtopics, that being the concept of a contingency table and the concept of degrees of freedom. The contingency table might be new depending on whether or not you've completed reading of Chapter 13 in SPATS, but the idea of degrees of freedom shouldn't be new, obviously, because you've been dealing with degrees of freedom throughout t-tests and ANOVA. Then we'll talk about calculating the chi-square test statistic. That'll be next. After that, we'll try to tie it all together and talk about setting up the drawing with the necessary information in order to test the hypothesis. And then I'll talk briefly about the assignment for the week. So anyway, that's the major highlights. This is just the introductory clip. I will try to keep these short as usual, certainly not longer than 10 minutes. The next segment will deal with hypotheses, introducing you to hypotheses.